The lights fade. A quiet hum rises, and the world begins to shiver with possibility, as if the universe itself is holding its breath. There are moments in human history when everything seems ordinary until suddenly a discovery tears open the fabric of what we know, reshaping everything we thought was certain. It always starts small, with a question, a spark, a whisper in the mind of someone stubborn enough to wonder if the universe is hiding something just beyond reach. In those fragile moments, humanity takes a step forward, even when the path ahead is dark. Today, we walk through those moments, the moments when science didn't just explain reality, it rewrote Italiano. So breathe deeply, let the noise of your world soften, and follow me through a journey of curiosity, conflict, failure, triumph, and the quiet heartbeat of people who made the impossible real. Because scientific discoveries are never just facts, they are echoes of courage. And courage quiet, persistent, and unyielding changes everything. Discovery never begins in a lab. It begins in confusion, in the strange result, the stubborn anomaly, the moment when something doesn't add up. Most people walk away when the world stops making sense. But scientists, the restless dreamers, and midnight thinkers, lean in. They push deeper into the unknown. They follow the faint trail, even when the darkness threatens to swallow the light. It's like standing in a forest with a single match, the wind flickering against its flame, every step forward a risk. But curiosity keeps the match alive, and eventually that match becomes a torch, and the torch becomes a beacon, and the beacon lights the world. That is the heart of every major discovery, a fragile idea kept alive long enough to reshape reality itself. Take gravity. Today, it feels obvious, almost trivial. But imagine the world before one curious mind. Isaac Newton paused long enough to ask a question everyone else had ignored. Why does anything fall? Millions of apples had hit the ground before his... But it took one moment of curiosity to look at the ordinary, as if it were extraordinary. He wasn't a genius because he saw an apple fall. He became a genius because he refused to let go of the question. He stared at the moon, wrestled with equations, endured years of doubt. And when the answer came, it was bigger than apples. It was planets, stars, oceans, tides, and life itself. Newton did not discover a force. He discovered an invisible story tying every object in the universe to every other object, a story that had always been there, waiting for him to listen. And then, there was Marie Curie, a woman walking into a world that told her she did not belong, stepping into the unknown with nothing but determination. She noticed that certain rocks emitted energy without any external source, an invisible glow no one else cared to question. Inside a cold, dim shed, she stirred boiling chemicals for hours, breathed in dust that slowly poisoned her, worked without recognition, without money, without safety. Her pursuit was not glorious. It was painful, lonely, and exhausting. But she kept going because truth, no matter how dangerous, was worth the cost. And from her relentless pursuit came a revelation that cracked open the atom itself. Radioactivity, a doorway into the secret heart of matter. A discovery that transformed medicine, energy, physics, and every field that touched human life. Marie Curie taught us that the smallest things in the universe carry enormous power, including the human spirit. But not all discoveries start grand. Some begin messy, awkward, accidental. In 1928, Alexander Fleming returned from vacation to find mold in his petri dishes. Instead of tossing them away, he leaned in. He saw something strange. Bacteria wouldn't grow near the mold. Most people would have shrugged and cleaned up. But discovery always offers a moment of choice. Walk away or follow the strange thing. Fleming chose to follow it. He isolated the mold, questioned it, studied it, and from that messy dish came penicillin, the first true antibiotic, a discovery that has saved more lives than any other medical breakthrough in history. It didn't start with a heroic moment. It started with curiosity about something most people would have thrown in the trash. That's the magic of science. The universe hides miracles in the mundane, waiting for someone persistent enough to notice. But sometimes, discovery is not welcomed. Sometimes the truth terrifies people. Galileo looked at the sky and saw something forbidden. Planets didn't circle the Earth. The Earth wasn't the center of everything. Humanity wasn't the cosmic focal point. Was drifting through space on a humble rock, orbiting a star. To us, this is obvious. To him, this was dangerous. He was ridiculed, threatened, silenced, forced to renounce his findings, imprisoned. But the truth didn't die. Truth doesn't need permission. It only needs time. And centuries later, Galileo's bravery still echoes. His story is a reminder that discovery often arrives long before people are ready for it. And there are discoveries born not from pain, but from AR. In 2015, after decades of work, scientists detected gravitational waves, a ripple in spacetime itself. The signal was so faint, it shifted detectors by less than the width of a proton. People said it was impossible, too ambitious, too absurd. But the scientists built the detector anyway. They tuned it, refined it, waited for years. And then, on a quiet day, the universe whispered. Two black holes had collided billions of years ago, and at last, the waves reached Earth. For the first time in history, humanity didn't just see the universe, we heard it. A faint chirp, the echo of a cosmic collision, and proof that Einstein's century-old prediction was right. A promise fulfilled across time. So what connects all these discoveries? Not intelligence, not destiny, not genius, but persistence, curiosity, a willingness to chase a question to the edge of the unknown. Every major breakthrough, from electricity to DNA, from vaccines to quantum physics, comes from people who refuse to stop asking why. People who choose to see mystery instead of certainty. Discovery isn't an event. It's a mindset, a passio toward the world, a belief that answers are hidden everywhere, quietly waiting for the bold. And when you understand that, you realize something humbling. The universe is not distant. It's not silent. It is speaking constantly. We just need to learn how to listen. So pause for a moment. Think about the questions you once had, the ones you were too afraid to ask, too busy to explore. Think about the curiosities you buried on the routine. Pressure, fear. What if the next great discovery isn't in a laboratory? What if it's in your mind? What if the next step forward for humanity begins with a question you haven't allowed yourself to chase? The world's greatest breakthroughs weren't made by they were made by ordinary people willing to be wrong, willing to fail, willing to look foolish again and again, until the truth finally revealed itself. Curiosity is not a talent. It is a choice, and choosing it even once can ripple through history. Every discovery begins in a quiet moment when someone whispers, "There must be more than this." And now, as we reach the end of this journey, remember, the universe is not finished. There are mysteries untouched, forces we barely understand, horizons we haven't yet imagined. We are living inside a story still unfolding, a story written by curiosity, shaped by courage, guided by the human desire to understand what lies beyond the edges of our knowledge. You are part of that story. You always have been. So the next time you stare at the night sky or feel a spark of wonder or notice something strange, don't ignore it. Lean in. Follow it. Because discovery doesn't belong to the past. It belongs to those who dare to ask, to imagine, to explore. The universe is waiting. And the next chapter begins when you decide to turn the page.